I know we've all settled at some point. That's not a ridiculous statement to make. We've all settled for people who didn't really pass the criteria, settled for relationships that don't totally fulfill our needs, settled for programs that didn't align with our passion, settled for situations that felt safer instead of pursuing what we actually wanted. It's not necessarily romantic. Settling is a part of life. When you're a cowardly little bitch, that is. We've all settled, that's fine. If you want to continue living your life like a miserable pussy who's too aware that they're unhappy and too scared to make a change, that's fine. Settle! I don't want to sound like a life coach. I certainly have no idea what I'm doing with my life, but I do know a thing or two about people and dating. And I'm gonna share some of my wisdom with you. Don't take dating advice from micro influencers with religious psychosis and Canva Premium. Just because someone can put text over a picture doesn't mean that they know shit. And I wanted to talk about this week because the hot goss on Twitter has been about this woman who posted an infographic on not being attracted to her boyfriend. The screenshots I got are from @cakesauce and Bloxlusion on Twitter because she went private and couldn't get the screenshots directly. She goes on for 12 slides that the hardest part about dating her partner is that he wasn't fully her type. According to her post, her boyfriend only checked one box on her list: a fit body. She understands that looks fade, character lasts, and she tries to swallow it down. But the lack of physical attraction nags at her. She goes to her married friends and they tell her to improve his style. You know, it's so hard to find someone so teachable, humble, and willing to grow. So she tried to improve how he dressed, but she continued to struggle. So she prayed. She surrendered herself to God and pled with him to show her what she's not seeing. Eventually, she learns to see past his looks and starts to love him for how he complements her character. Sweet, no? Really mull it over. Sit with how she phrased that, how she worded her struggle. And it's not only those slides, there's a separate post as well where she mentions her dissatisfaction with her partner's physical traits. She emphasizes that he was only fulfilling 10% of her physical ideals. Yeah, like sit with it. The language that she utilized. Because, okay, it's fine to have a type. It's great that you know what you're looking for, but you don't like your boyfriend. It's okay. That's not the worst thing that's ever happened. You know, that's not the most evil thing ever. Write about it in your journal. Talk to your friends. And you did that and still nothing? Then maybe consider ending it. Consider breaking up with your boyfriend. Don't spin it into this religious slash moral lesson on your public facing platform. Don't make it everyone else's problem. Not everything has to be an essay. You can't rationalize every single thing that you do and obsess over your decision so much that you think it's worth making it a phenomenon. It's not a phenomenon. It's just you. He's simply not your type. That's it. Your decision to settle for someone you're not attracted to isn't the groundbreaking call to action that you think it is. Why are you imploring everyone else to do the same? I understand this urge to be earnest and authentic online to counter all of the award winning performances on everybody else's feeds. Hell, I'm participating in this journey of being more vulnerable just as much as you. I'm also trying to be less performative, showing everyone that not everything is as cool as it looks on social media. I get your need to be transparent about your life. I see you. But there are things we must keep to ourselves. Things like, oh, I used to think that my partner was chopped, but maybe his unattractiveness was just God testing me. That is an inside thought. There are way better, less humiliating ways to reconcile that you find your boyfriend unattractive. It's fine. We've all had ugly boyfriends. Dating sucks, mama. But what gets me is that this aforementioned boyfriend isn't even ugly. Objectively, your thinly veiled discontent for this person who seems to be doing his best to please you is what's really ugly about this whole thing. It says a lot about your character that you saw your partner in this light, wrote it down, created photos for your slide, encoded your thoughts with your little fonts, and published this for thousands of people to witness. And you think it's good. You're telling people to follow your page for more? There's already so much to be said about the secondhand embarrassment that this post invites. But since you want to discuss character and morality, what good person would post this? Don't get me wrong, I do understand the bottom line of what you're trying to say. Don't be shallow. One's heart matters so much more than their looks. That's very nice. Jack Black has a solid movie based on this very virtue. But what's coming off as unkind is how you chose to frame this virtue. To announce that your partner has physical shortcomings and you've struggled for months asking God why he gave you someone who wasn't your type, does it not strike you as mean? At the very least, impolite? It's just backhanded and needlessly cruel. And obviously, I'm not directly affected by this. I'm just so revved up by what she said because there's this clear lack of empathy going around. And if this one person can't respect their partner enough to even think twice about posting something so tactless, what's happening to the rest of us? This goes back to a previous rant of mine about how men in particular seek out and date people they can barely tolerate, let alone love. And this one from a woman who clearly holds pride over her very Christian values, using her faculty of language to put down the person she loves to show off to other people that she's morally superior for sticking it out and settling. It grinds my gears. Truthfully, because sure, it seems like she's grown to cherish her partner and she claims to have a beautiful relationship. I wanna believe that. But girl, posting this carousel publicly demonstrates that you don't care enough. The optics are terrible, babe. Stop dating people that you don't like. The takeaway isn't to settle, to lament over your lack of physical attraction, and to beg a higher being that you magically find what you've been missing. Again, I 100% agree with looking beyond the surface and giving people a chance to show you who they really are before you dismiss them. There are so many layers to every single individual, it's not fair to shoot them down before you have the time to peel away a few of those layers. What I don't agree with is the language used and the god of it all. It's religious psychosis. I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of why the religious lens on dating is icky. There are smarter, more articulate people out there who can discuss why such framing is reductive and unrealistic. My agnostic ass is opting out of that discourse. Believe what you want to believe, I don't care. I just don't think your God would appreciate you using his name to disparage your partner in front of thousands of people. Your God would probably like it more if you were nicer to your boyfriend. If you stand by your love story, your journey, I can respect that. We're all different, no shade. But if you're trying to make it a spectacle and your intention is for people to take away something good from your experience, at least tweak the wording. Don't make it seem like your partner committed a grave sin by being unattractive per your standards. Your lovers aren't meant to be fixed. They're your life companion. If you feel the need to improve them on the basis of vanity and not character, that's something that you need to deal with on your own. Don't project your own issues on them and make it seem like it's their shortcomings. Appreciate him, love him, whatever. It doesn't have to be a show. It certainly doesn't have to be a multi-slide infographic on Instagram. And for everyone else, stop taking dating advice from social media as gospel. Trust your gut, listen to your heart, don't settle.